Welcome back to the world of E Pacific. I'm your accountability buddy, No Woods. Here at E Pacific, we bring you the latest and the greatest regarding health, fitness, and weight loss. We get down to the science. Today, I have a good friend of mine, Baby Ray Hanna of Hanna Health. He is your entrepreneur with keto-friendly donuts and a bodybuilder. Let's get to it.
Soundstripe.
Got it.
All right, tribe. We're here with Baby Ray Hanna of Hanna Health, or it's Hanna Health, right?
Hanna Health, yes. Hanna
And
Health is fine.
Crumb,
And
that's
Crow.
and that's the business, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, tribe, let me introduce you to a old friend of mine, Baby Ray Hanna. He and I met when Arizona global campus was Ashford University, and we were in the military division. I had got transferred up shortly after I had joined the staff, and I sat next to Ray. And Ray, big handsome baby Ray, 6'3". He dressed like me. He was always in suits, sharp dresser, sharp minded, very deep into his faith. What attracted me to him was his confidence. And when I found out he was like 23 years old, it was mind blowing. I wanted to know more about this guy. And over the years, ended up on the same team, um, just just introducing, those that needed or wanted it, education. It was a good time. And we all went through a lot of things together, and we became like family. I would never say that I was like his work dad, even though Chandra wanted to claim him, our friend Chandra wanted to claim him as her work son. But I always knew that he had the most extraordinary parents that raised this young man with a bunch of confidence. So I was more like a big brother, and I was always rooting for him. And Ray, say hi to the people.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thank you for having me, sir. Mr. Noble. Like I said, we go way, way back. Yeah, just so for the viewers to know that Noble's known me since I was a young buck, like I said, 23, straight out of college. Didn't know much about corporate America at all, and I got the pleasure to have Noble help me grow up in that work environment. So as much as my parents have been phenomenal role models and examples for me. Noble took me under his wing, amongst others. But in that corporate world, it kind of helped me see what it took to be a professional. And so, I appreciate Noble and everything that he's done. And then, like I said, he's, I consider him family, not just a coworker or a friend, but, it's family here. So, nice to meet everybody. I'm excited to be on.
Thank you very much. I am honored and humbled. Now, Ray, let's get right to it. I had talked about your parents. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your family and growing up in a Navy family? Me being a former Marine, I've always envied those seafaring families. Tell me about your background.
Oh man, so yeah, briefly, I had the opportunity to move around a little bit, not too much. I was fortunate to. I was born in Maryland, but shortly after I moved to Guam, lived there for about 8 years, and then I got to move to California. So, and after that was kind of the into my traveling around as a military dependent. So pretty lucky there, not too intensive. With that being said, as Noble said, my parents were very about education, doing the right thing, being responsible. So it was no games in the household, right? My dad was a stickler for again following the rules and doing what you're supposed to do and being successful. My mom as well. My dad actually is a Navy commander. He actually has his doctorate in leadership, so he teaches courses throughout the country, mostly online. Is at DAU right now. My mother also got her doctorate in business administration a few years back, and she worked for ICE, Homeland Security. So
Wow.
they both have taught me the right way, and my brother and my sister as well. My brother is a DevOps engineer up in Palo Alto area. Very successful young man, 24. A lot like my parents. I think I was kind of the rugged kid, I would say, out of the family. And then my sister is got accepted into UC Davis a couple years ago. So they're doing amazing stuff. Like I said, big I am who I am because my parents and them putting a nice vice grip on me when I was younger, and making sure I stayed on the right path. And like I said, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So that family atmosphere is really has set that example and helped me become who I am.
Wow. So I'm sitting here and I'm touting how much we know each other and how much family we are. I had no idea you spent 8 years in Guam.
Hurricanes and brown tree snakes.
Oh my God. Okay. So, wow. So let's go over your heydays. High school basketball. I mean, that is kind of what first introduced me to your athleticism. And you were very proud of
Yeah.
your time, on the parquet. Tell me a little bit about that, but then tell what happened.
Yeah, of course. So I played some basketball, a little high school ball. I was pretty good. I did well in high school. I played my freshman year. I played junior varsity, and then when I made my sophomore year, I started playing varsity. Then I ended up going to Mesa College, played some college ball for a little while, for a couple years as well. Did well, got a scholarship over to San Diego Christian College out here in El Cajon as well. So I've been able to do a little bit of things with basketball. And then after that, I ended up, getting into the workforce, things like that. And as you know, as you play basketball and you're young, you kind of, you can eat what you want. I was in the cafeteria eating curly fries. You still staying slim, right? I got over to the workforce, and it didn't happen. It didn't stay the same. It doesn't work out that way, right? So,
Yeah.
obviously, I got a little bit of girth on me. If you want to call it girth.
At your biggest,
Noble knows.
how much did you weigh at your biggest?
Man. Well, let's backtrack for a second. So, as I was playing ball, I got fully into my faith. Met a great group of people at Word of Life Worship Center. So it was a Christian non-denominational church that I was attending, and met a Samoan family, very loving. We gave back to the community and mission trips. I think my first mission trip was in Fiji. Went back to feed homeless out there and minister out there. Amazing time. I think I was about 22, 23 at the time. Came back and ended up being a young adult Bible study leader. Was able to preach at a couple Latino churches throughout San Diego. And then I ran a young adult Bible study. So I say all that to say, when you get saved and you're doing the right thing, all you do is eat. You read your Bible and you eat, and you go eat again, and then you fellowship and you eat. Everything is your fellowship and you eat, right? So I ain't gonna blame the Lord for being big, but I'm just saying. So anyway, so that happened. So going to answer Noble's question, I got all the way up to 287 pounds.
How tall are you, Ray?
6'3" and a half. So 287. Now, mind you, it wasn't 27 like working out in the gym. It was this 287, just clean 287. And I never was a weightlifter. I played college ball. I was actually ran from the weights. I tried out football for like a week. I got a concussion and a seizure and never came back.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so I don't know if I ever told you the story. Yeah, I went after college ball. I went to go play football. I was really good at football, actually. I can catch really well. As most basketball players, like that tight end position is kind of what we like to do. So coach at goes to my college, which was actually one of the top JCs in the nation at the time. I was where Reggie Bush's good friend Daryl Hassana was playing.
Oh wow!
Really good school. A lot of D1 players that just didn't have the grades. So I went over there, spring training. They asked me to come play for them. Again, spring training came, was doing routes. They told me to go lift weights. I was like, nah, I don't lift weights. That's not what I do,
You know
right?
what
So
I
I'm
do.
gonna go over here and do what I do. I'm gonna go catch the ball, right? Not listening, right? So yeah, well, I should have went to go lift weights because literally the next play, I'm going to get some of their DBs, and me being confident, as Noble talked about, I'm talking crazy. First week out there, I'm talking crazy to all the DBs, right? And I ended up getting tripped up and hit my head on the turf. I woke up in the ambulance, not knowing where I was at.
So
So I was
yeah,
like,
so nobody rang your bell but you.
this me, this tripped up, bam, hit the turf, never came back.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man, so yeah, football
You're
wasn't
killing me. Yeah, I
football,
guess not. I
not for
guess
me,
not.
not my thing.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so I say all that to say, like I said, weightlifting wasn't my thing. Like I said, I got up to 287. I think my mom called me fat.
Did that hurt your
That's what
feelings?
opened my eyes. Yeah, hurt my eye. Hurt my face. I ain't fat. What you mean? I'm little compared to the Samoans. And she's like, nah, bro, you big, bro.
You're big.
You
So
big.
wait, now your mom is a retired senior chief?
Retired senior chief, yes.
Yeah, so she knows naval standards when it comes to height, weight. So yeah, you should have took that to heart.
Yeah,
And
I took that to heart.
that really brings me to, your faith and being around food, the whole 9 yards. But one of the things that caught my eye again, and why I didn't even pretend to be your work dad, was you showed me pictures of your dad. Now your dad and now I'm 53. How old is your dad?
My dad now is 56 now.
Okay, so
56.
3 years older than me. I think I was like 42 at the time. And you showed me a picture of your dad, and he had been bodybuilding for 20 years at that point. So I was like, holy cow. And I used to question you all the time. I'm like, Ray, you got the genetics. You got the height over your dad. Why aren't you bodybuilding? And you act like you were allergic to it like water. What is that? Huh?
Well, it's funny because what I think I may have been 18, 19 at the time. I'm trying to remember. I remember I was a little young. I was still at the house, and I distinctly remember my dad was getting ready for a show, and for whatever reason, the first thing he had on his meal plan was tuna, and like it was like some tuna in a bagel or something weird, an egg or something, right? And I'm like, all right. So it's so funny how your mind works, right? And I distinctly remember he opened a can of tuna when this opened up a can of tuna, and I start eating tuna, and I was like, Dad, I gotta eat this to be a bodybuilder. And then he started laughing. Like, yeah, you don't eat for taste. You eat for fuel. I was like, all right, Pop. You know what I mean? So after that, I was like, no, I can't eat this tuna out the can. I can't do it, bro. He's like, you open my tuna can, you about to finish that too. So I ended up getting grapes, and I was getting crackers, and I was shoveling it down because Dad was like, you finished this can of tuna. So not knowing anything about the bodybuilding world, I just said, I'm gonna jump on this plan. All right, Dad, I'm gonna start bodybuilding. And I didn't know until 4 or 5 years ago when I started getting into it. You don't gotta eat a can of tuna to be a bodybuilder. That's just what he chose to eat. I was like, Dad, if you would have told me this 15 years ago, I would have started a long time ago. But in my mind, I gotta eat a can of tuna.
That's the only way. It's just to eat a can of tuna.
That's the only way.
I do not eat tuna. There are like 5 things on the planet that I won't eat, and tuna's like, it vacillates between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
With chitlins. So I guess I would have been in the same place at that time. But what made you change your 280-pound mind to finally follow the path that genetically you were born to do? What was it?
So it's funny. So I tell a story about how my mom called me fat. And I was like, whatever. But I had to go to the doctor for something. Like I said, I don't go to the doctor very often. And I stepped on the scale, and like I said, I was almost 290. I was like, ooh, maybe I am fat. I
took your wallet out.
Yeah, like I was like, man, did I eat a lot yesterday? And I didn't know anything about food. I'm just playing basketball, eating burritos, hanging out with my Samoan friends. You know, at that time, you know, 2 burritos and 7 carne asada fries was I mean, 7 roll tacos was a normal thing. I remember I went to one of my good friend's house here. I think he's one of the Bible study leaders. He comes, he says, I got food for everybody. And he puts literally these Samoan dudes, to some big men, big men. Like I said, I was 286 and I was small. They was picking me up in the air, like holding me like a baby. It's like this big dude.
Wow.
And they come in, they was like, oh, Ray, we got you food. I was like, oh, thank you, man. You know, they dropped 2 burritos in front of me, some carne asada fries. I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna share. Oh no, that's for you. I said, huh?
Get it
I said,
on.
like what? So right, so I was like, it's a whole different mindset, right? When you're in that culture. So I think I just kind of lost myself into just like say it's just so small things, you know. You know how it is, like habits, how habits are created, right? So small steps,
Right.
you just start doing this here, doing that there, and all of a sudden you're 290, you don't even know, right? And so once found that out, I was like, oh, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. I can't be like, I can't hit 300. What's going on, Ray? That's not you. I
Why
never
not
really had.
300? Why? I mean, why didn't you pick 250 or
Hey, right.
270, but
I didn't know.
300?
I didn't know. My mindset was like, hey, I'm small. They still calling me skinny. So I'm
Right.
hanging around a whole bunch of big people calling
So
me
it was the
skinny.
environment you were in. You were the little guy.
I was a little guy. I mean, the women were bigger than me. So, you know,
Wow.
it was one of those things where I'm still a little guy. You know, I'm still good, you know? And so I never had to diet. I never had to really think about food in that way because I was always playing college basketball or high school basketball. You know, we running, you know, 4 or 5 hours a day. You got, you know, in the morning we doing stairs and track and running around the track, running mountains. And then later that day we're doing basketball practice, right? So, I mean, I can eat what I want. I wasn't going to gain weight. You're probably burning 5,000 calories. Like,
But you were getting older too.
But I'm getting older. I ain't playing college ball no more. You can't eat the same way, right? You can't eat the same way. You're not, you know, it just doesn't work. And so as I stopped playing sports and wasn't as active as I used to be, and I just kept eating and eating a little bit more. Now that I met the Samoan family, that it kind of just gradually put on, and I didn't even realize it.
Okay, so I started getting healthy before you.
Yeah. Insanity. Remember you put me on the insanity and all that.
Yeah. So what were the first steps that you took toward bodybuilding?
So funny enough, Roger, you remember Roger, right? Roger, I still work with him.
Oh wow. He's an amazing physical specimen. I got to get that dude on there.
Oh man, talk about like he's a dietitian, nutritionist to the T. Like, you know, for me, I was like, I learned the game from a lot of people, like say my dad, and just reading and talking to people, where Roger was one of those guys that like went to school for, you know, nutrition and all that stuff, right? He's the one that taught me about gluten and intermittent fasting and no nitrates and, you know, all that stuff before all
Roger
these
is amazing.
came out. Like Roger knew about this 9 years ago. You know what I mean? He was talking about this stuff a long time ago before all this new wave came. And so he kind of he told me about intermittent fasting. So this was before bodybuilding. This was just about, this was just Roger teaching me. He's like, hey, try intermittent fasting. You know, we're going to start having you work out fasted in the morning, and then you work out a little bit. Then we'll start your first meal around 12, 1 o'clock. I remember I told him, I said, Roger, I don't want to go on a diet. I want to be able to eat a cheeseburger too sometime. And you know what I'm saying? He starts laughing. He's all right, Ray, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to let you eat your cheeseburger, but you got to eat a healthy meal around 1 o'clock. Make sure you do fasted cardio, and then just eat one semi-okay meal. So it's a burger or something around 7 or 8, and that's it. And then you can't eat again until 12. Just try that for like 3 months. I said, all right, cool. I could do that. If I could get a little something, I could do that.
Just to get you in a rhythm, huh?
Got me in a rhythm. So actually, Roger kind of got me on it. And again, bodybuilding wasn't still in the mind frame at all.
So nutrition came first.
The nutrition came first, like learning kind of.
You just wanted to lose weight.
I just wanted to lose weight. I had nothing. I didn't know idea what like I said, a gluten-free was, a carb, what protein did, how protein helped muscle. I didn't know none of that. I was just like, okay, I want to lose some weight, right? And so I got down to about 244, 243, and I was a stud. I was like, I'm a stud muffin. I'm a stud muffin, right? And so I was like, I'm good now. I'm flexing in the mirror. I'm still chubby, but I'm flexing. I'm thinking I'm good. And it's funny. So Jason Garcia, one of the other guys who worked with, Jay.
Yeah.
I saw him not too long ago. We went for my 30th birthday. We went down to Mexico.
Okay.
And we went out there for my 30th birthday. Went out, we ate, we're at the beach. And he shows me a video with my shirt off. Maybe 6 months ago. Jason sends me a video. He's like, "Ray, remember this? So you thought you was swole." And I was laughing. I had lost a good amount of weight. You know what I mean? I wasn't fat or anything, but I wasn't, I didn't have no abs or nothing. I'm thinking, I'm like, man, ooh, I still was kind of chubby a little bit. I didn't really have no definition for real. I thought I was killed. I was walking around with my shirt off. I thought I was smacked
You
down.
had lost 40 pounds. Yeah.
I lost 40 pounds. I'm ready. Listen, I'm ready
Right.
to win. And in clothes, I was looking nice. People thought I was, ready to go. And so that's kind of how I started to kind of tailor down. And then I was just good there. Like no bodybuilding was in mind, nothing like that. I was just kind of maintaining, starting to work out again. You remember we go down to the gym in Copley.
Yeah.
And then we would go. And then, like I said, you started, I think we started the Insanity. I remember you got the Insanity. And I think I jumped on the Insanity after you did. And all that stuff kind of started happening. And then it was just that was it. Then when I was, how old am I now? 35. So yes, when I turned 30, so maybe 6 months after I turned 30, I go to Vegas with Curtis Ryder. Me and Curtis go to Vegas. Me and him, this guy trips, me and Curtis. And one night, I'm just hanging out. We're talking to people, talking to girls, for my wife, obviously. And my dad sends me the diet randomly. So I'm about to do a show again, son. Meanwhile, my dad's super swole, huge. I was like, "Oh, you gonna do another show?" He's like, "Yeah, so I'm gonna do another show." I was like, "All right, send me the diet, man. Send me the diet. Maybe I'll look into it again one day. I'll look into it again." And he's like, "All right." So he sends me the diet. He don't think I'm gonna do nothing with it, right? So that night, I remember it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I look over it. I see the diet in my email. I say, "Curtis, hey man, I'm about to be a bodybuilder, bro. Like I'm good. Don't order no pizza. I'm about to get some salad." And he's like, "Man, you ain't gonna eat no salad."
1 o'clock in the morning.
1 in the morning. Like I remember this like yesterday. I was like, "Don't order no rooms. I don't want no pizza. Order me a salad." He was like, "You gonna quit tomorrow? You just tripping. What are you talking about?" I was like, "All right, you gonna see. I'm gonna do it. Watch." So by this time, I already kind of had some nutrition, a little bit from Roger, like I said, us, you, Dale, all this kind of working out, kind of just implementing that type of stuff in our lifestyle. Even though it wasn't bodybuilding, it was still just we kind of getting your engines revved up a little bit unknowingly, not thinking about bodybuilding. And so I was like, I'm gonna get a salad. And if I were to tell you, Noble, 16 weeks later,
Wow.
I said, I'm gonna do a show in April. This was January. I said, I'm gonna do a show in April. Like Curtis laughed at me, right? From that day at 1 o'clock in the morning, when I had that salad, I went 16 weeks, followed the diet to the T, and stepped on stage.
That was the first show we did.
First show we did. I was skinny, didn't know what was
God.
going on, didn't have a muscle problem. I was just skinny. I saw some
You look
abs and I was just
good.
like, whoa, I got abs, I'm ready to go.
Come on, man. That was at the Scottish Rite Center, right?
Scottish Rite Center, yep.
Yeah.
First show I did.
Yeah. That's what gave me the bug. That's when I wanted to, get ready to step on the stage, but then my back got jacked and I gave up. But it was amazing. The transformation you made over that 16 weeks was very inspiring. Not that you dropped weight, it was the muscle that you had put on. And then it was the dedication, coming down the line. People don't know when you get when you're a week out or 24 hours out, you are totally dehydrated. You're not drinking any water. It just, to me, to get that insight, it takes a lot of discipline to do that. And so
much.
that's when it really it dawned on me again what had been instilled in you subconsciously, even though you are a wayward son all those years, you instinctively knew how to do what it took to make that 16-week transformation. And I'm just astonished how you continue the continuity. Okay, if I'm gonna do this in June, I'm gonna do this in December, then I'm gonna do this again. How often are you competing now?
Usually I do a show twice a year. I'm planning to do another one August this year. So I took a year. My last show was in May. So
Okay.
it'll be actually a little over a year this time. Try to put on some size, try to put on some weight because it's
How much you weigh
constant.
now?
Right now I'm about 240, and usually I walk around about 230, 232. So I
Oh
was able to
wow.
put on a little bit of weight.
You've been
So
trying
hopefully
to
I
do
can,
that the last 3-4 years.
man. It's funny
uh,
because when you're not competing or you don't know about nutrition, it's like, man, I just want to lose weight. Now it's hard to gain good weight,
right.
right? When you know, do stuff the right way. So I took a year off, and it was hard for me because it's funny because my dad's like, you afraid of like gaining weight, right? I was like, well, Dad, I was a fat kid for like 4 or 5 years. I
Right.
ain't, I'm keeping. Hey, if I see an ab go away, I'm crying. I'm like, what's going on?
Wow.
So you got to put on some weight. I put on some fat
Because you're a
to
big guy.
yeah. You got to put on some if you want to gain that muscle. He said so and it's the difference between natural bodybuilders and not natural bodybuilders and how they are able to put on weight in different
That's what I wanted
ways.
to touch on. You and your dad, both natural bodybuilders.
Yeah, so it's tough. So it takes a long time. It's not a lot of people. And the thing is, and like I said, I don't knock anybody that decides to do
To be the best that they could be. I mean,
yeah
how? How
yeah.
can you get mad at somebody?
You
Right?
can't be mad at that if they want to do that. And again, I always tell people, listen, man, I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't want to listen. I'm going to die if I put some of that stuff in me. So it's not even like a moral type thing, to be
Because you
honest. So I was
chicken.
like, I don't want people to get it twisted. Like, hey, I'm not hating on. Hey, I don't got the guts to do what they do, but they look
Wow.
amazing, and it still takes a lot of work, a hard
Yeah.
work. A lot of
Yeah.
people.
It's not like you just indulge and then all of a sudden you're just,
Yeah,
bronze Adonis. No, it takes
no,
work.
it takes a lot of work. Even the guys that are not natural, it takes a lot of hard work and discipline. So for us natural bodybuilders, it takes a little bit longer. It takes longer to put on weight, on
How many
muscle.
meals do you eat a day? What's your caloric intake?
So I eat about 6 meals a day, two of those being shakes. Sometime I'll get a seventh one in there if I'm trying to bulk. My bulking calorie intake is about 3,500, and then I keep my cardio. It's funny. So I'm one of the few people I know that do still keeps their cardio during bulking season. I just try to up my calories and again, it's because I want that conditioning underneath the fat to still be there, and then I don't want to be suffering when I got to start cutting down weight. So you see a lot of guys like, man, I did my bulking season. I haven't done cardio in 5 weeks, and I'm
Oh
like,
God.
they just huffing and puffing, right? The first, month of prep, they're just like, for me, and again, my cardio, I always tell people we're not sprinters or runners or,
Right.
marathon runners. Our cardio is more of a slow pace, uphill walking. You don't want to burn the muscle type thing, or keep your heart rate at a certain level so you're not
So it's all
tapping into your
steady state,
muscles.
right?
Steady state, yeah. You don't want to burn into your muscles. So, and I always tell people the difference between a runner's body and a sprinter's body, right? Sprinters usually are more muscular. They do quick bursts, right? They're not running for long periods of time and things like that. You'll get more stringy, more of like a marathon runner type body, right? Where you want more of a more built body. So a lot of stairmasters is really good for bodybuilders as well. Uphill on the the treadmills are really good as well. So I do 15
On the
on
incline.
the climb, 15 on. I usually about 15 on three for about 30 minutes, just on the just maintain
So
stage 50
15 incline
three
on the
speed,
3. Okay.
and then
What
when I'm
about my
cutting
arch enemy, the Stairmaster? What are you doing on the Stairmaster?
Stairmaster, yeah, I mean, Stairmaster is so good. It's not great for the knees. So if you have bad knees, I tell people kind of stay away from that if you don't have the best knees. But I feel like it's the best cardio for bodybuilders and physique competitors, things like that. Because again, you're working your glutes, you're working your
Oh
legs, you're
my
working your
God.
core, you're working everything, right? And again, it's all about burning that fat without touching the muscle if possible, right? So Stairmaster is probably one of the best. I would tell people stop holding on, rather lower
Yeah,
it
let
down,
go. Let
let
go. That's
go.
what screwed my back up too. I got used to bending over, leaning on, holding on,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
myself injustice.
Let
Yeah.
go. Go lower. let go and get that work that way. You know what I mean?
So you were talking about nutrition, right? Everybody talks about macros. Please tell us, our audience, what do your macros look like if you're at doing 3,500 calories a day, 6 to 7 meals a day?
6 to 7 meals. So I try to keep my protein. I keep my protein pretty high because, like I said, I'm my body type. I can. It's funny because, again, as a bigger kid, I felt like I gained fat easy. I gained weight easy. But when you start eating the right foods, it doesn't work that way. This depends on your body type, and I have a high metabolism. So for me, I have to eat. A lot of times people say, 1.5 grams of protein times your lean body mass, right? So not how much you weigh. A lot of people get it confused. It's not 1.5 times 200 pounds, 1.5 times 200 pounds. That's not it. You don't have 200 pounds of muscle, right? It's 1.5 times your actual body mass, right? Your lean body mass, so your muscle, right? So
Right.
for me, I try to stay around 250 grams of protein to 300 grams of protein a day. And then I stay around about 70 to 80 grams of fat. Sometimes I'll go up to 100 during bulking season if I'm trying to get my calories up. And then my carbs, I go anywhere between 300 to 400 carbs a day. And that's during bulking season, right? And then if I'm starting to get a little bit too, too fluffy, then I'll either increase my cardio a little bit or bring down the carbs some, right? So all my stuff, I always tell people weigh weekly. Don't weigh every day. Don't step on the scale every day. Don't look at your body every day, right? Because your body, depends on how much
Because of water, right?
Because of water, all that fun stuff. So I always try to say rule of thumb, weigh in on Saturday, take your pictures on Saturday, and then every Saturday, same time, when you wake up in the morning, do the same thing, right? Because your body's weird sometimes. You'll wake up and sometime, I think a lot of bodybuilders, especially, beginners, I still consider myself a beginner still. Your body's weird. Sometimes you may lose a pound one week, and then you're like, I did the same thing the next week. I gained a pound. Like, what's going on? And then you're starting to get frustrated, right? Stay the course. And then the next week, like, I lost 7 pounds. Like, what the heck, right? So that's why you don't want to weigh every day, because you're just going to trick your mind.
So how long is bulking season, and then how long do you cut? Give us a timeline. If you're doing 2 shows a year.
Normally I would do about a 4 to 5, probably like a 4-month bulk usually, and then I would do a 12-week cut, right? That actually wasn't working because I would come in lean. I never really had a problem with coming in cut and lean and conditioned. I think that's one of my strong points in my regimen. I usually come in pretty lean and pretty conditioned. But the size, the muscle belly is where, because I was a late bloomer. I didn't lift weights in high school. I didn't, I wasn't one of those guys that was hitting the weights, in the 20s. That wasn't really my thing.
Right.
I didn't really start lifting weights till about 30. Right. So for me, I was a late bloomer in that way. So for me, building that muscle maturity, that muscle belly, I noticed that, and that's why I've taken this year just to concentrate on lifting heavy, eating, not being in depletion mode. Because it's hard. Like, people understand it's almost impossible to build muscle while you're cutting and you're depleted, right? The old adage of, like, I'm going to gain 50 pounds of muscle and get to 2% body fat. It's, like I said, unless you're on, things that are not natural, it's very hard to do that. So most of the time you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. Right. And you're going to be in a calorie surplus to gain weight. That's just kind of a simple rule of thumb now.
Right.
It's pretty basic.
Simple science, right?
Simple science, right? When you come to sculpting your body, that's when the macros kind of take place. You've always seen them skinny fat people. They're like, I eat a burger and chicken nuggets every day. Well, if you eat a burger and 8 chicken nuggets, yeah, you won't be fat because you don't have enough calories to really get fat. You just won't have muscle. You won't look good.
Yeah, you're gonna need Roto-Rooter to come clean out your arteries too.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
So back to training, right? Do you do 2 a days, or do you to split up your cardio and lifting, or where do you put your cardio and where do you put your strength training?
So I like to do my strength training in the morning. I like to lift in the morning. Now, I used to do my cardio in the morning, but I did a lot of research on it. And again, this, you can find any article for anything, right? So you got to listen to your body. But for me, what works for me is that I want to give the most energy I have when my glycogen levels are the highest, after I've eaten some food and I haven't spent energy doing cardio, to weight training, right? Because when you weight train, your body stays anabolic throughout, even after you work out, right? And you're still burning weight, you're still burning fat, right? So you want to keep all your energy, as much energy you can for the weightlifting, in my opinion, right? And then at night, I'll hit the treadmill at the house, right? I'll hit the treadmill, house, I'll do 30 minutes. And again, nothing crazy. And like I said, until it's time for cutting season. You know, those last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, that's when if I'm, trying to get down to 5% body fat, something like that, I'm going to be on the treadmill maybe for an hour and a half at times. Getting it in, I'll lift weights, do some cardio, and I'll do cardio again at night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
riddle me this. When you're trying to put on muscle, are you lifting heavier?
Yeah. So I believe, and again, there's a whole lot of new school stuff that people talk about with, angles and high reps, don't go as heavy anymore, do higher reps, it's still going to exhaust the muscle. You still can get, there's a lot of that stuff out there. For me, I'm really old school with it. I feel like if it's not broke, why you ain't got to fix it. I'm sticking to the Arnold days. I'm lifting heavy, 6 to 8 reps when I'm trying to put on weight, on muscle, and strength, 6 to 8 reps, bench, deadlift, squats, those are the main things there. Now, benching, I do a lot more dumbbells because my shoulder doesn't like the bench that much.
Really?
You'll see a lot of bodybuilders now if you watch it. It's funny if you just kind of watch YouTube or just video these bodybuilders.
Everybody's got these dumbbells now.
They got the dumbbells. And for whatever reason, it's just the bench kind of, again, I'm not a, kinesiologist, but I know the bench messes up my shoulders. And I think a lot of bodybuilders have that same issue.
Really?
With a lot of heavy benching. I think that's why you see a lot of bodybuilders as they get older, they transfer over to the dumbbells.
Yeah. As I was going up in weight, I did find that it did create a lot of strain on my shoulders. But I started working out with Dale, right? So he was always a proponent of dumbbells. So it was a natural regression for me. So
exactly. I love the dumbbells. I do a lot of incline dumbbells, decline dumbbells. I love the dumbbells.
Give me those hundreds. I just remember when you first started really lifting. I'm so proud. Give me those hundreds.
Give me those hundreds. So I hit them hundreds, boy. I thought I was a man around here, boy. I said 100 pounds, man.
So all right, we were talking about supplementation, right? So as a natural bodybuilder, and you were talking about how you break your macros down. Do you supplement with protein? You said 2 shakes a day, right?
2 shakes a day, yeah.
Are you doing branched chain amino acids, BCAAs?
BCAAs, it's essential. I still do creatine, especially during the bulk season. Creatine is one of the few proven supplements that actually work, help build muscle. There's a million supplements out there, but like some
I got an article on it.
Yeah, 99% of them are not proven, right? They're just, and it could work, who knows? But creatine is one of the few that's actually proven to work, right? To build muscle. Branch chain amino acids obviously is huge in your muscle repair and building. You get that through your proteins naturally as well. But again, it's always good to supplement your BCAAs. I have to drink it during my workout, before my workout, and after my workout. Keep, and you guys see the guys and girls with the jars with the colored water, right?
Do you do a pre-workout? Do you?
It's funny. I do the pre-workout honestly just because I like the way it tastes. I just like my, you know what I mean. Some people, I'm not.
No, that means everybody's got that thing, right?
Yeah. I'm not really a big proponent of those high stimulants that get you twitching and jittery, and I don't know. There's a lot of guys that love it. I work out guys that like live for that. That's their thing. I'm a caffeine head though, so coffee.
So you do bullet coffee?
I do bullet coffee sometime, but I like the rain, like the little rain drinks and bang drinks, and I don't know if they even do anything, but they just taste good. They give me caffeine, so they're probably not good for you.
No, I do them all, and that's why I'm giving my doctor said I need to cut them out.
Probably not good for you, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because
Oh
I
man,
I
but
do it, man. I do my Celsius. I love the dragon fruit Celsius.
yep.
300 milligrams. And I think the FDA says 480 a day, right? So
Yeah.
I'm humming, I'm humming through the day. But no, I got into coffee. That was one of the things here during COVID. I got into coffee because I was trying to make that switch from the energy drinks. And yeah, I'm doing stuff that's called like, Death Lock and, and this
Nah, I hope you doing
crazy
all that.
shock coffee. And it's just like, if I'm just one of those people that is caffeine sensitive, and if I get the wrong thing on the wrong type of food in my stomach, I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I be cognizant of that.
That
So,
Jack 3D back in the day. Remember Jack 3D?
oh my, yeah. That's why they don't take that stuff off the market after a couple of people go down with cardiac arrest, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
this is what I want to ask you back to about the shoulders. Have you injured yourself while training? And what do you do prevention wise to prevent injury?
So honestly, you gotta, and I'm speaking to myself on this. You gotta stretch, which I'm not always the.
But
I'm not
not
always.
static stretch.
You mean I like the bands? I like the yoga stretching. I
But you
like
got to
those
warm up first, right?
warm up. I do a lot of. So honestly, my routine is sauna for about 3 to 4 minutes. I hit the steam room for about a minute or two, and then I'll stop. If I'm disciplined, I'll stretch. Right, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm always sometime I get in there, but I always warm up. So I don't,
But that helps muscle growth too, right? Stretching.
yeah, stretching helps muscle growth. It helps you prevent injuries. What do you call it? And like I said, for me, when like I said, if I'm doing chest or I'm going to do dumbbells, I'll start off with 40 pounds, and I'm going to get up to 120, but I'm going to start off with 40s, right?
Just to warm it up.
Warm them up. So key to prevent injury, you have to stretch. And that's I would say my biggest area of improvement is the stretching part. I'll hit the sauna in the steam room and I'm like, I'm good.
I'm warm.
I'm good, right? And so again, stretching is huge. Like I said, it loosens up your muscles, your small twitch muscles, your joints, your ligaments, like I said, lots of times your muscle can handle the weight. It's your ligaments that can't handle it, right?
Right.
So those are the things that you want to make sure you stretch. And if you do that, you'll limit injury. And then I do a lot of massages as
Really?
well. Do a lot of massages. I get a massage at least once every couple weeks, like twice a month. I usually get a massage, if not more. The only reason I don't get more is because it costs too much.
Do you see a chiropractor?
I do not do chiropractors. I always go and I'll go like Massage Envy, or I have a place up here by the house that does really good Thai massages. I've tried cupping as well. And the place up here is called, I think it's called Happy Feet or Happy Head or something over here. It's over here in Rancho. It's they do really good Thai massages, and they stretch you out really, really good. So I do that at least once every couple weeks. I'm going to go get that done.
So did you build a gym in the house like I did, or are you back in the gym?
I'm back in the gym. So during COVID, I was actually going to our friend Klaus's house, Thomas Klaus's house. He had a nice gym and a squat rack.
Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus. He had, so I would drive during the pandemic. I was at his house every day in the garage, hitting the weights. So I had a treadmill here, but I didn't have the weights that I needed. So I would go there. But I had a couple bodybuilding friends that had personal gyms from their friends, and we'll go in there and we'll do our thing. But yeah, so it was a really good situation for Klaus from Klaus having his gym at his house.
So
but I'm back at 24.
Let me ask you a couple of last questions. Now, when you're training, and especially when you're lifting heavy, are you training with a partner? Or are you just doing your own thing and just grab somebody in the gym?
I try to train with a partner, but it's not always feasible. I always tell people, if you can train with a partner, again, it's safer, especially if you're going heavy. And it's
Arnold had Franco Colombo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Always have a partner. And, especially if you're really serious about the sport, you're really serious about even just, pushing yourself to the max. When you have a partner, you always going harder. Like during COVID, it sucked because I was like, man, I miss them days at the gym where I got my partners yelling at me, slap you in the back of the head. They giving you smelling salt. I had a couple crazy Filipino dudes, big Filipino dudes. I think you met Adrian.
Adrian,
You remember
Adrian,
crazy Adrian?
yeah.
And he'll come and
Another Marine. Cloud's a Marine, Adrian Marine. Yeah.
Oh man, them boys, Adrian come and slap you. You be like, man, stop hitting me. You know what I mean, right? But they push you. You do.
Oh, he's come a long way. That guy has gotten huge.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. So that stuff is going to help you maximize your workouts and help you train hard. So a lot of people work out, but they don't train. And if you want to get to the next level, you got to train. And so I like when I see these young kids in there training, because I always tell people, if you're not sweating when you get done with a workout, like you just got done doing the treadmill, you ain't working out.
No,
you're just in there.
You're just hanging out. You're just hanging out.
Hanging out. You need to be dripping in sweat like you just got done running.
Is fat crying.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That is it. And
then, if you work out by yourself, you're not going to go as hard sometimes.
No.
Right? Sometimes you're going, I'm by myself. I don't have a spotter. You're a little bit nervous, which makes sense because I don't want to hurt myself. But, if I got a spotter, I'm going to failure every time. If I can't get it up, I know somebody's going to help me get it up. When I'm by myself, I got to stop, 1 or 2 earlier than I normally do. And again, I guess, some of the crazy cats back
until failure all the time.
I try to train to until my muscles can't take anymore. That's when I stop. Even if I'm doing lighter workouts, lighter weights, that's fine. Like I said, there's a lot of new age people that saying lighter weights are the way to go and all that stuff.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, it's all about form.
Man. Tricon.
Yeah, it's all about form. Lifting the right way, not just throwing stuff everywhere, not hitting the right muscle group because you're just trying to look like a hero, right? Doing the stuff the right way, and then going to failure, right? You shouldn't be able to do another one. If somebody says, I'll give you $500 if you do one more, you should be like, I can't do one more.
Can't.
Right? And most people don't train like that. They train and burn a little bit. As soon as it burns, they stop. Like, nah, when it burns,
that's where it starts.
That's where it starts, right? And that's the only way you grow. Right, that's the only way you grow. You got to switch your workouts because your muscles,
muscle confusion.
Exactly. You got everything's. You're gonna get used to it, and then the nutrition part. You got to eat the right stuff before you work out, after your workout, so that way you can maximize your muscle growth. Right. I like to eat, at least an hour and a half before my workout. I try to get something in me. The farther out, the more you can eat, right? So if you eating 2 hours, 3 hours before, you can have a bigger meal, right? If you're eating, say,
what are you eating?
Minutes. So for me, I like to eat good carbs like white rice, high glycemic. It's funny. So some of the best workouts I have, if I'll eat white rice. It sounds weird, and baby food. I'll eat like prunes or something like that. And I'll get super vascular.
Easy for the metabolism and digest, get in the system, right?
Man. Oh man, I'm feeling good. The glycogen spike is huge, and it's just rushing straight to the muscles. Get some good protein with it. And sometimes I'll get some salty eggs. So that salt with that high glycogen rice and that baby food, prunes, the ultimate workout.
Wow! Shout out to Gerber.
yeah, right. And I did it by accident. I was at my sister-in-law's house, and I was hungry, and had some. So I made some eggs, some rice. And I saw the prunes, so my little niece, she's my goddaughter. I started eating her little prunes. Went to the gym. I was like, man, I ain't had a pump like this in a long time.
God.
Really? So I like doing that. And then after you work out, again, you want to replenish your muscles, right? Because you obviously worked out, you depleted, you want to replenish them to help build them back up, to help them grow, right? So you want to get, again, good carbs, good proteins, and even some fats as well. To help you replenish. And you want to get that as soon as possible. And if you know you ain't gonna be able to eat for an hour or two, have a protein drink or something in the car. That's why you see guys
just to replenish that glycogen, just
right away.
Get it in right away.
Right away.
So for you, when do you eat the cheeseburgers now?
When do I eat the cheeseburgers?
Right. When that was like the deal breaker when you first started. On that 16, before the 16 weeks, you had to have junk food. Is the appeal to it gone now?
Yeah, everybody has their cravings and everybody has their things that they like. For me, I like my low calorie. So my cheat is different now. Right? My cheat is more, and there's so much options now. Like I said, I have the protein donuts that I make with the monk fruit in them that don't have sugar. I have I like my low cal popcorn, a little 30 calorie per cup popcorn, a little Simply Pop, whatever it's called. I love that stuff. I'll smash that popcorn all day. Low on sugars, low on calories. Helps you sleep. It's actually actually it's a natural melatonin. So popcorn before bed is actually good.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good for sleep. I love that stuff. There's so many keto snacks and
Wait. So here I am having all these watershed moments. Before I let you go, tell me about your cookbook. Tell everybody about crumb.com.
Of course. So I wrote a cookbook, me and my family. So I got my family involved. I said, Mom, Dad, I was like, I want to, as you know, we did a weight loss competition at work. We had a ton of people. We did maybe like 3 different ones. I know
my photos are all over the internet. Thanks.
Photos all over the internet. This man did amazing work. Shocked the world. How much did you lose?
I only lost 22 pounds.
Well, your body transformation. Yeah, the body transformation was.
So that was my second one.
That was your second one.
Yeah.
Body transformation was amazing. And so, doing that, my heart was to always help people. That was my heart in anything I do in life in general, was to always help people. And so I was like, man, the stigma, and it's funny because when you came on here, you talked about the stigma of food and working out, right? And that's the premise of the book. It's the title of the book is finding fun in fitness. Was a little hashtag in the book. I want to get people away from that stigma that fitness is something that's sorrowful.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Or dreadful.
Right.
Or something that they, find that it's going to be something that's daunting. I want people to find fitness as something that, hey, this is doable. This is fun. We can still enjoy ourselves and still be healthy. So I wrote a cookbook. I said, Dad, let's make recipes that are healthy, that people can enjoy and still live their best life, lose weight, stay healthy, and stay on the program. So that was what the book was made. That was what the premise of the book. And so we wrote that cookbook with the family. It was amazing. We had a book signing party, and tons of people still call me. They say, I got your cookbook on my table still. I'll look through it sometime and try some of them. So it's been a blessing to be able to do that, just to share with families. And you never really know how many people you touch, I guess, until you get to heaven, right? Until one day you find that out. But so it's a blessing to do that. And then from that came Hanna Health. We started to do a clothing brand, and we made athletic scrubs for nurses and doctors, almost like figs, but we made it affordable. We did sweaters and beanies and all that fun stuff. And then it kind of segued into our crumb donuts. So now, briefly, I'll touch on that. Again, it was a way of making a dessert that people could eat and they can enjoy, that tastes good, but didn't have the calories and the fat that a normal donut had. So we came up with the concept of having gluten-free, keto-friendly protein donuts. And so the company DBA now is called Crumb. So it kind of derived from Hanna Health, the parent company. And so now we're in about 13 stores throughout San Diego. We ship, our e-commerce is doing really well. We ship all over the States as well. And we're continuing to get into more stores. We just got into Parkway Mall, one of the fitness stores in there as well. So it's been a blessing. We've been able to hire family members that are in need of jobs, kids, minorities. So we have 3 minorities that work for us. So it's been a blessing to show. And the last thing I'll say about that is I had one of the vendors at the farmers market's mom comes sees us every Saturday. She's 58. I don't know her name. I always call her mom now. She's 58 years old. And she comes to me, and her son came about a couple of donuts. I didn't know he was a vendor. He sell pizza. And I was like, man, one of my cheat days, I'm gonna eat one of your pizzas. Those pizzas look good. I guess he's like a chef. He's been to China. The guy's amazing. So I actually tried it. The pizza's phenomenal. Just like if I were in Europe. Just like in Europe. I'm not kidding. His pizza's phenomenal. So his mom, he's like, hey, I buy these for my mom. I said, okay, cool. Bought like 3 of them. Next week he came and bought like 4 of them. I said, oh, cool, man. He's like, and my mom's gonna come see you. I said, okay, cool. Tell mom to come see me. So she comes, little old white lady comes, walks over. She said, son, give me a hug. So I gave her a hug and she starts crying. And I was like, what's going on, right? And she's like, I haven't had a donut in 10 years. She said, I'm diabetic. All my grandkids know my special food. They call them mama's treats because they know I only can eat certain things, right? So she's like, first I had the donut. I only ate half. And I pricked my finger and I did my diabetic test and all that stuff. And she said it came back. It didn't spike my insulin at all. So she's like, oh my gosh. And so she ate another donut. And so now she comes every Saturday and gets 10 donuts from one of our markets. And she literally gives me a hug every time. Says, I haven't had a donut in 10 years. Now I'm able to eat donuts again. And I'm so happy. So, right. So that's why we do what we do for those
You're an
moments.
amazing dude, man. That's what I love about you, man. You always about giving. And I've witnessed it firsthand. I've been a recipient of it firsthand. If there were more people like you around, fast food businesses would go out of business, but people would be a whole lot happier and full of love. Speaking of love, tell your wife I say hello.
I will.
Ray, it has been an honor to have you here. If there's one thing you want to leave the people with here at the We Love to Live This Way tribe, what is it? What would you like to say from your heart?
Oh man. I would say, if I had to give you any piece of advice, I would say live life moment by moment. Right? Enjoy each moment. Each decision matters. Each moment matters, and all those moments add up to big moments that add up to big goals, add up to big dreams. Right? So Denzel Washington said, "Goals without dreams are the same pathway to disaster," or lack of better words. Right? So you have to understand, keep your goals, so that way your dreams can be met. But if I would say anything, live moment by moment.
Breath to breath, baby. That's
right.
it. Thank you very
that.
much, Ray.
Thank you.
I'm
I love you guys.
definitely have you back.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Tell the wife I said hello as well. And like I said, you've been a blessing to me and my family more than you know. So thank you as well. Like I said, you helped me grow in a work environment that I had no idea about, and I'm still there. So I appreciate you.
Man, you make me a better dude. All right.
All right, Noble.
Baby Ray, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you again next time here at Eve Pacific. Stay the course.
Thank you.
Bye.